Our third orchestra concert happens on Friday night, February 25th at 7:30. This is a concert we've called Fanfare for Concertmasters and Bolero. I actually think of it in this sort of riddle. What do you get when you try and pack into one 2-hour concert all the greatest hits featuring the best instrumentalists throughout the entire orchestra? Well, the answer is you get this concert. We have music from Copland, from Piazzola, from Ravel. But before we talk about each individual piece, let's talk about the 4 concertmasters. We have one concertmaster in the Arizona MusicFest Festival Orchestra, and that's Robin Mayforth. Tremendous concertmaster here with us and also at the Symphony of Silicon Valley in Northern California. But did you know we have 3 more violinists in the orchestra who, back home, are concertmasters in their own right. Corinne Brower, who is my concertmaster with the Winston-Salem Symphony in North Carolina, Charles Dimmick, concertmaster of the Portland Symphony in Maine, and Uri Becker, concertmaster of the Charleston Symphony in South Carolina. I would dare say there are very few orchestras on the planet that get to enjoy 4 concertmasters playing together in 1 week's time. These 4 get to be celebrated on the Friday night concert. There's a wonderful work by Piazzola. Piazzola was a great composer, really most known from Argentina as the inventor of the new tango. He really gave tango new life in the 20th century. But he wrote 4 seasons. There are the Vivaldi Four Seasons, the most famous of all settings of the Four Seasons, and Piazzola was intrigued by that music. So he made his own setting, called them the Four Seasons of Buenos Aires. Interesting that, of course, Argentina is on the southern half of the planet, in the southern hemisphere, and therefore fall in the southern hemisphere is more akin to spring in the northern hemisphere. So when you hear one of the violinists play fall, for example, you're going to hear nice, warming up, spring-type music to our way of thinking. When you hear summer, you'll hear cold, chilling music, and some wonderful quotes from Vivaldi's Four Seasons throughout. So each of our concertmasters plays each of the 4 seasons. But that's not all. They come back after intermission and they're going to play Chris Brubeck's Interplay for violins and orchestra. Now this calls for the violins as soloists to play in 3 styles: classical, jazz, and fiddling. So pay attention to the 4 soloists as they trade off in these 3 styles, accompanied by a wonderful orchestra, a really big, full orchestration. Chris Brubeck, the composer, son of the jazz legend Dave Brubeck, actually has a home right here in the valley in Arizona. So that's how we focus on the concertmasters, but we're not only focusing on violins in this concert, focusing also on brass. We're opening the concert with Copland's Fanfare for the Common Man, one of the most ennobling pieces of music in all of the repertory. It features the brass section of the orchestra and the percussion section. And we're actually going to have the brass standing all around the platform areas just underneath the incredible organ here at Pinnacle Presbyterian Church. They'll be standing in a different fashion than you're used to see them in a seated orchestra position, and you'll hear the wonderful clarion calls, the noble call to the common man in this Copland. I should mention that Ryan Anthony, our guest artist in residence, will be playing the lead trumpet on that piece. And Ryan Anthony and I have recorded the piece. So if you're interested, check out the CD that's available by the Canadian Brass. It's called Legends, and we can provide you with a link to that to purchase and give a listen before we get to this concert. Taking us in a fanfare way to the climax of the evening, Ravel's Bolero. Ravel actually wrote Bolero on a bet. He was working and speaking with some colleagues, and they bet him that he couldn't take one tune and do nothing to the tune and write an entire piece with the tune just repeating over and over without variation. So he took on the bet, and out came Bolero, which has become possibly, along with, say, Beethoven's Fifth Symphony, the most famous tune known to the ear. What's wonderful about Bolero is it starts with only a very few instruments playing. Listen to the snare drum as he begins setting that driving, lustful rhythm, and that builds finally until every member of the orchestra is playing full on. It's going to be a visual and audio spectacular way to end the evening. Hope this has whet your appetite, and we'll see you at the Friday night concert.